What's up, everyone? Today, we are finally getting our hands on the highly anticipated 2026 Steam Machine and the brand new Steam controller. Valve is officially back in the living room with what people are calling the Gabe Cube. This little 6-inch powerhouse promises to bring high-end PC gaming straight to your TV. We also have the redesigned Steam controller, complete with dual thumbsticks and drift-resistant TMR sensors. So let's crack these open and see, well, if the box is worth the hype and to see what you get for the price. That's right. So speaking of price, let's just take a quick look at that. What are you getting for the highly anticipated and expensive new console called the Steam Machine for 2026? Well, here we are on the official Steam website, and well, let's take a look at what we got in terms of price tiering, because there's a lot of controversy around what this cost. And to Valve's defense, this is really kind of no fault of their own because of these outrageous price costs for components, internal components that AI seems to be conglomerating. Is that the right word? What? They seem to be making shortages for components and raising the prices. So now it could be a matter of the prices are being raised naturally as a supply and demand, or it could be a little bit of price gouging. Anyway, let's go ahead and look at what we got for the base Steam Machine, which comes in at $1,049, and that gets you the base machine at 512 gigabytes. But if you want to make a jump and get the controller with the machine, which you may or may not want to go with the controller, you're okay with the 512, that might be my suggestion. Me, as a fool, I went with the actual 512 gigabyte model with the controller, right? That's the tier I went with because, well, if you jump up to the 2 terabyte, you're spending a whopping $1,350. That's right. So quite pricey for what you're getting here. PlayStation and Xbox, they cost about $500, well, at least for those tiers. But now we see PlayStation, Xbox getting another price hike. So it makes you think twice if it's even now worth getting the Steam Machine, now that PlayStation is going up to like about $900 for their new model. This is starting not to look so bad, I think, even though $1,300 without a controller is still quite steep. But if you want to get the controller with the 2 terabyte tier, you're going to spend about almost $1,500. Well, when the smoke clears, expect to see about $1,600 to $1,700 dent in your pocket. Okay, so you can sign up to join the waitlist. And surprisingly, I got the device very fast, maybe like a day or two after joining the waitlist. I already received an email saying, hey, we're ready to charge you for the device and ship it. Do you want to go ahead and do it? So I went ahead and clicked sure. Take my money. What? They shipped out the device and I got it within a week's time. So they ship pretty fast. This is what you're getting in terms of price. It's a compact 6-inch cube, small form factor, kind of reminds you of like the GameCube by Nintendo. But under the hood, you have a semi-custom AMD Zen 4 CPU and RDNA 3 GPU. And it states that it's slated to target 4K 60. That, my friends and friendlets, how you say friends, female friends? It depends on your game title. Some AAA titles will struggle, and if you're setting it to do upscaling, giving it some frame rate assistance, you can get 4K 60, but I'm targeting 1440p depending on the title and going for 60 and above. 16 gigabytes of DDR5 plus 8 gigabytes of GDDR6 VRAM. So I'm interested to see what the performance is going to be with some of these modern AAA titles. So that'll be another video. This one is just for the unboxing. If you got the cash, go with all NVMe. For my situation, I'll probably use an external SSD to get better speeds than using one of the SD card slots. Although I do have a Steam Deck, and running off an SD card slot, it works pretty fine. A decade or more old technology seems to be okay. Nintendo Switch is using SD cards and it seems to work fine as well. Maybe not as robust and fast, but when you're downloading to it, that's when you start to see the hit on the SD card. So my lord, if you get a 100 gig game downloading to your SD card slot, go for a walk in the park, come back the next day and you're ready. What? I built a Steam Machine, homemade Steam Machine off of spare parts, and I just could not get it so that the controller would wake the PC, because it's a mini PC, to wake the PC up And that's just something at minor inconvenience. I have to get up and press the power button, and then you're good to go. Boots into Steam, no problem. But with this, you can wake, like a console, wake your Steam machine and just get playing, right? If you're super lazy, right? So for the super lazy, this is fantastic. So the benefit of having this Steam machine, the Steam ecosystem, SteamOS, is you get access to the Steam library and even other platforms like Epic and GOG, which you can integrate into this and play games from there as well. So multi-platform, so it's not locked into just the PlayStation or Xbox ecosystem, and you're locked into that. So a lot more variety with the Steam machine, even with emulation. Yes, emulation city, because it's a PC, so you can customize this up the wazoo. What? It is a PC. You can use it as a desktop if you want to go straight Linux and install applications and run things on this like a computer to do some type of home workflow. So okay, so in terms of IOs, we got up to 4K 60 or 8K 60. Make sure you set your games to super low settings to get that 4K. Supports HDR, FreeSync, daisy chaining monitors, I suppose. HDMI 2.0 supports up to 4K 120. You're probably not going to get 4K 120 in any game unless it's like a emulated game. This is where it gets a little bit interesting. So if you're going to go with the 512 model and want to use an external SSD, right, you're probably going to want to connect it to a 3.2, one of these 3.2 Gen 1 ports right here, you see. So make sure you connect your SSD to that, and it's a pretty fast SSD. You're going to get some good performance out of that, and just have the SSD sitting on the side of your device, or I don't know. I'll leave that up to you to configure it. I haven't configured it myself. I haven't even unboxed it, so to be continued. You have two 2.0 high-speed ports in the back, probably just for like a dongle for like a wireless keyboard, for example, or wireless mouse if you're going to use it as a computer. I don't know if you're going to want to connect a webcam to that, or even just a USB hub and then connect devices to a USB hub connected to your computer, right? This is a Steam machine, but it's also a PC. And you have one USB-C Gen 2, which is going to be the highest playback. So maybe you want to connect your SSD to that, preferably. So if you have an external NVMe, then now we're talking. Now you can get some nice download speeds, for example, download into the SSD and playback and, you know, that sort of stuff. So I will connect it. This is exactly where I'm going to connect it to. So there's one USB-C port, external NVMe with an NVMe enclosure. Let's see what we get in our box for 1,100 and how much did I pay for it? 1,128 bucks plus tax. Let's get to the unboxing. All right, Tech is Gamers. So when you get your box, it's going to come like this with a nice little cool handle for picking up your box. And it's just a brown box with the actual Steam machine, I guess, faceplate showing on it. It's pretty cool, and it has its own little cool design here where it kind of splits open on the side. So it comes in a nice box design, not really design, but they do some serious origami with these boxes sometimes. So yeah, here we go, your games on the big screen. Okay, so fumbling already with trying to open this box. So I finally figured out how to open the box. There is, on the bottom, you're gonna see you have a little thing to tear here. So that's gonna get you to be able to open up your box. Oh, and then after you flip it open from the bottom, it splits open like this. Oh my God. Don't mind me in my haphazard way of opening this Steam machine. Okay, and when you get your machine, ooh, that is pretty heavy, Takers and Gamers. It's got a nice weight to it, and it comes in this fabric kind of material, right, in black, and nothing but some warnings on there, some notifications. Bam, and we got ourselves a cool Steam machine. I guess it slides out of this cloth thing, which I'm going to preserve in case I want to return my Steam machine. Package like such, more protection, sliding it off to preserve the plastic in every shape or form. I probably won't be able to slide it back on. So, and this is what your awesome Steam machine is going to look like, Techies and Gamers, in your nasty little mouth and face. So this is weight. So I'm not going to be able to carry this continuously as I'm demonstrating, because I don't know. How much does this thing weigh? Let me get my scale. 1 second. Be right back. And we are looking at 5 pounds and 11.3 ounces in your face. Yep. 5 pounds and 11.3 ounces. There you go. Pretty heavy Arse Steam machine. Okay, well, definitely lighter than my actual PC. So yeah. All right, let's just continue the unboxing to see what else we get in our box outside of our Steam machine. We'll get back to the Steam machine and looking at all the IOs and everything in a second. Inside this little box right here, 2 components. You get yourself on one side the HDMI cable. Down here is your power supply. So it looks like it's a straight cable. So that way you don't have an external brick. So that's fantastic. You can just plug it straight into the wall with a straight cable like such. Okay. And on our other side, documentation, I presume. Yep. My tech sensitivity and spidey senses are correct. Cool. So this is what you get in your box. So just looking at the locations of the IOs that we got going on this bad boy. On the front, those are the 2 3.1 ports, and you have your micro SD card slot, LED indicator, and of course your power button. Over on the back, we have our USB-C port, which is a 3.2 Gen 2 port here, which will be the fastest USB port. And then we have USB 2 and the USB 2. These are both 2.0 ports, Ethernet, display, power. Okay, so that way you know that the fastest port that you got is this USB-C port in the back. That's where I'm going to be connecting my SSD here. I guess for fast connections, if you're going to use it as a computer, that's probably where you want to connect like a, I don't know, a webcam or something, who knows. You could also connect your SSDs to this too. You're still going to get fast speeds here at USB 3.2, so not bad. Here we are with our Steam controller unboxing, and the unboxing of this is going to be quite a little bit different. Instead of having your tape you rip off, this actually has tape to cut through. And well, what are we getting here for our Steam controller in terms of pricing? If you want to just get the price for, just get the Steam controller alone, well, you have to log in and get yourself a nice little reservation for it. And of course, you gotta have a Steam account to log in for it. So maybe I'll get a secondary controller, maybe I won't. $99 for your Steam controller here at Techies and Gamers. So what are you getting for your 99 bucks on a controller like this? Definitely more expensive than, say, something like a PlayStation controller or Xbox controller. You do have the TMR, new technology, of course. Magnetic thumbsticks surpasses or is a bit better than Hall effect sticks and anything below that. Full set of inputs to play your whole Steam library, 4x haptic motors for high definition rumble. Steam controller puck. That's the game changer right there. You just slide your puck, that on the puck right there, and you're good to go. Oh, and let's not forget, you also have this gyro effect going on in your face. So you can enable gyros for maybe like flying simulation games, driving games. That might be kind of cool. Shooters, right? If you're shooting, you can kind of use that gyro as well. I do have the old version of the Steam controller here in your face. So this was okay. Loud clickers here. You hear that? My gosh. And you had one stick, and then you could kind of use a trackpad as the second stick. This was a super duper learning curve for me trying to use this thing. And then your D-pad was over here if you wanted to use some kind of simulation of a D-pad, super loud and clicky. And you did have some back pedals. So, okay. But it has been sitting in my drawer for quite some time and collecting dust. And I find that it's hard to get this thing to be compatible with other devices outside of your Steam machine. So get my Razor, which is all dusty and sticky with glue and stuff. But it ain't a razor if it ain't being used. Okay, here we go. Let's not open up my fingers as well. Inside your controller system here, Techies and Gamers, what do we got going on in your mouth? Box in a box. Okay, flip it open and you got yourself a Steam controller. Look at that bad boy. Wow, that's pretty nice. Let's pick it up. Nice texture to it. It is not super smooth, so you're going to get a little bit of a texture to that. And let's get that up close and personal in your face, right? Nice. It's pretty light actually, right? Not so bad. Wow, how many buttons are on the back? Okay, so you got 4 paddle buttons back there. Jesus, that's where your puck will connect to your controller. And okay, nice wide professional wide range of motion here. Normal game, Xbox, PlayStation sticks, nice little dip in the middle there. You can see there's your thumb will fit nicely inside of it. D-pad, okay. It's not too mushy and not too clicky. It doesn't have that kind of Xbox kind of clicky sound. It's actually a little bit quieter. You hear that? A little bit quieter, better buttons. Good, so I can play at night and not wake my wife up with loud buttons. Same thing with the triggers. Nice range of motion with these triggers. The bumpers are quiet. All of these buttons are pretty quiet, actually. Okay, not bad. Select start. I like that the select starts are right here, pretty reachable, and these are close enough so that, or far enough so that your thumbs don't actually bang into each other. So that's pretty decent unless you play like this. And I do like the ergonomics. This feels good in your hand. A little bit smooth, I feel like, even though it has a texture. A little bit smoothness there, but pretty light. Okay, no battery. And you can connect via USB-C or charge it via USB-C if that's your preference of charging. What I'm noticing here is that though the controller is kind of textured there, the pads themselves are smoother than the texture here, because if you had to have the pads like that, that's going to wear and tear your thumb fingerprint. It's going to wear off. Then you'd be a perfect criminal without a thumbprint. What? A little bit smoother than what you have on this textured surface on the rest of the controller. So pretty nice. And your puck. Just for reference, this is what it looks like in this palm of your hand in terms of size, and just a singular USB-C port, the prongs to connect to the back of this, and rubber on the bottom so that I guess prevents a little bit of sliding there. See that? A little bit of a rubber ring there. And this bad boy will connect to the back of your controller like, whoa, like such. That thing really connects, my God. So just by sliding that bad boy just a little bit on there, look at that. The magneticness is surreal. Okay, that's good. So it won't really come off so easily. And I would imagine you get a USB-C cable here somewhere. Yep. Another under compartment there for your USB-C cable. I like this boxing. This is very, very nice. Let's take that out because we will be using this cable. It's not so thick, but it has a nice material to it. Okay, and I would imagine these are probably just 2.0 cables, right? That's your USB-C cable. You connect one side to your puck like such, and you have your puck, and that will connect to your device when you're ready to charge. This probably will be sitting like this near my Steam machine, and I'll just like slide my controller on it, bam, and you are charging like you've never charged before. What? Donald Trump? Full unboxing, and these are the entire contents of my $1,400 purchase. Well, $1,300 after the smoke cleared with taxes. This is what you're getting in your box. I can't wait to get it started. I have a very vast library of Steam games, and interested to see the performance difference with this box versus my homemade Steam machine box out of spare parts, which is good. That machine has been doing 1080p gaming at some pretty decent frame rates, 60 to sometimes 120 hertz, depending on the title. If you want to see the parts and components of that machine, you can check the link in the description, or it's on my channel. I did a full PC build and breakdown of that machine and how well it performs. It does pretty good. So, and it's been my TV console in the living room for some time now. Just to make a disclaimer, I have spent some money buying this Steam machine, $1,300. You kind of see the residual come back to you in the form of purchasing, right? When you purchase games. So games, you get a lot of Steam game sales, so you can kind of make up the price there. For the platform itself, you don't pay to be on the Steam platform, so there's no cost to you there versus playing on the PlayStation Network or Xbox. So over time, those subscription costs and the lack of as much sales as the way Steam has compounds. And in the long term, you end up paying a bit more, I think, for being on the Xbox platform. Take it from me, I used to have Xbox, and it was just like constant yearly payment of $60 of just to be in the ecosystem. As well as for games, I'm paying full price every time. There aren't that many sales unless I get it to some third party or buy from somewhere or buy it used, right? But on the Steam platform, you're gonna get 50, 60, 90% off sometimes in some games, some season sales, and you're not locked into one ecosystem like you have on Xbox and PlayStation. Emulation, it's a PC, right? You have a PC side. If you have a computer, you don't want his computer, you can switch it over to a computer side. If you want to learn a little bit of Linux, browse the internet, have a little bit of a workflow, you have that going for you with Steam, right? And a Steam machine, dual boot, right? SteamOS and Linux boot. So maybe it's not as powerful and robust as what the new, I guess, PlayStation and Xbox Series machines are going to come out and have to offer, but those are getting a nice price hike as well. So if you're coming in at $900 for the new PS PlayStation, and with tax is over $1,000, you're already in the $1,000, $1,100 mark just for the console, and then for the games going forward and playing for the platform. Same for Xbox. In the long run, you're paying more money. That's my spill on it, give and take on this machine. My first impressions on it, it's pretty nice. I'm super stoked and excited, and stay tuned for the next follow-up till I can let you know what the performance of this bad little boy is going to be like with the games I play now, especially with the performance of my homemade Steam machine versus the actual Steam machine we have here in your face. Be sure to like, subscribe, stay tuned, hit the bell notifications so that way you know when I post my review of the actual performance and the hardware, plugging it in, setting it up, the sound, how quiet it is, right? We don't know how quiet this is. It does have an extra large fan on the back of that. So we want to know if that fan is quiet right now. When my little homemade Steam machine ramps up, it's pretty loud. Yeah, so okay. Stay tuned. I'll see you in the next video. Later.